Hello, Brian the Fanboy here, and today I'm gonna talk about my time in public school. Now, this is a video I've been wanting to make for some time, so people who watch my videos uh, will know a little bit more about me and learn where I'm coming from. Now, I have been to a few public schools back when I was very little, around preschool age. Of course, I've been more than one around that time because, my family would move a lot, from town to town, house to house, and which is also might go from school to school and classroom to classroom. And then in September of 1993, I started going to Catholic school, and I already made a video about my time there, so you can check it out if you haven't seen it yet. And I've been all the way to fifth grade in June of 1998. And then oh yes, in September of 1998, that's when I started going to public school again. It was middle school, and I admit that I was excited at first because you see, back when I was still going to Catholic school, a lot of TV shows I saw, where kids or teenagers were the main characters. They all went to public school, and seeing the things that happens over there. And of course, I haven't seen any shows where the kids or teenagers go to Catholic school or any kind of private school whatsoever. Where they have to wear a uniform. And because of that, I felt like I've been missing out on stuff. I mean, the Catholic school I went to wasn't bad. I mean, sure it wasn't easy, but wasn't too bad because I have good friends there. But I've been mostly because what I saw on television, it made me feel the way I did. No, when I started going to public school, I mean middle school, the thing is that I should start going to this other school. It was a public school, but it was, you see, in March of 1997, my family and I moved to Stoneham, Massachusetts, and there was a school there. And I thought that the reason that I didn't enroll there was because maybe my mother wanted me to finish the school year first, before I start going to that school. And the reason I didn't see anything about it because, I thought that my mother was going to, have me and my sister go to the school that's the closest to the house we moved in at that time. It was um, it was a short walk away, but that didn't happen. Instead, me and my sister went to the Catholic school I went to, and and because of how far it was, and yeah, it was stressful, going to a school and then town that we didn't live in anymore. And also remember that the principal of the Catholic school I went to, we get met my mother for always picking me and my sister up late. And you see, I was at the age when I should be able to go to and from school on my own, or at least for my sister, since she already started kindergarten at that time. But I couldn't do that if we were going to school in another town. Finally, my mother realized the stress, me and my sister going to a school in a town that we didn't live in. So we went to, that's when we started going to a public school system. Of course, I thought we were gonna go do that school that was the closest to the house we were living in at the time. But they didn't have it because, for me, that school went up in the fifth grade, and I already finished fifth grade at the time. So I went to middle school where I started sixth grade. And my sister went not to the school I just mentioned, but another one, Standard School it was called. Now, but when I started going to public school again, well, I didn't have many plans, and one of them was to join drama club. And I waited days or even weeks patiently for any announcement on when drama club will start. However, before that happened, the vice principal she told me about Homer Club, and well, the reason I didn't tell her I was going to join drama club was because I was afraid she would say no. I mean, that's what I thought, and because I didn't say anything, I spent the next 3 years going to Homer Club in middle school. Now, another problem that happened was that well, when I was in of the bullying I went through, you see, how it started. Well, one day I was going home after school, and then there was this kid who did something. I'm not gonna say what it is, but yes, I was so upset about what happened that well, you see, that was the starting point of the bullying I received, and I even was bullied more when I was talking about well, when I started to tell the other students about my religious views on certain issues, and I was bullied for that as well. Made fun of my faith and everything, and that's when I realized that well, I was fooled by the portrayal of public school I saw on television back when I was still going to campus school, and I also realized that well, the kind of bullying I received from those kids, the one in middle school, well, yeah, that's also when I realized, well, that's what made me think that this is what happens when kids don't learn the word of God and the word of God in school on a daily basis. I mean, that's resulted in my way of thinking, and also it was the next step to what made me a conservative. You see, my time in Catholic school was the first step, and being bullied in middle school was the second step. And the bullying I received happened all the way up to high school. And also years after I finished high school, well, some of the same students started, giving me a hard time the same way they did when I was in high school or even middle school, which means they were now adults, but yet, they still gave me a hard time when I had a chance. Of course, since I don't live in Massachusetts anymore, well, I don't have to deal with them and have no, I have no interest in what they're up to now. Anyway, if my mother had made a decision for me and my sister to go to the public school that was the closest to the house we were living in, well, then if the same problems they have in middle school happened over there, me and my sister would have gone to the Catholic school in Stoneham, the year after, and a lot of problems could have been avoided. Also, some of the things that were being taught in the public school I went to, from middle school to high school, well, they kind of contradict some of them. Some of the things that were taught contradict what I learned in Catholic school, and probably what I would have learned if me and my sister has, gone to Catholic school, so on. And well, before I started high school, I was hoping there was a Catholic high school where I can go to, so I can be, well, where I assume that other students, have the same views as me, at least almost. And but no, that didn't happen because, well, when see, almost a month before I started high school, my family and I moved to the second house. We started living in Sonham, and well, the only Catholic school in Sonham was from kindergarten to eighth grade. There was no Catholic high school, and the closest one was to 4-hour drive from the house where we moved in at the time. And well, I remember having the last time I went to a school that was another town that I didn't live in, and I didn't want to go through that again. Also, the Catholic high school that was too far a drive. It was also an all boys school, and I didn't want to go to an all boys school because, well, I couldn't get a girlfriend over there, and I wanted to have that experience like what I saw on TV when I was younger during my grade school years. Although it wasn't expected because despite what was shown about high school and at least the family friendly shows from the 90s of high schools, like Saved by the Bell and a bunch of other shows like it. High school in real life was nothing like it. So yes, that's when I learned the reality. And speaking about going to college, well, I went to this college fair. I went to with my class, and well, oh yes, from picking the those booklets and pamphlets and everything. Well, there are things I found out that I didn't know before. You see, a lot of the colleges that's been offered, well, they wanted students who had like 4 years of math, 4 years of science, 4 years of English, 4 years of history or social studies, and and the list goes on. Nobody ever told me that, before I finished middle school. And if somebody would have told me that, I would have been more prepared. I mean, when I was in Catholic school, well, in each grade, the teacher would talk about, the next grade. Like, for example, when I was in first grade, the teacher would talk about us going into second grade. And when I was in second grade, the teacher would talk about us going to first grade, constantly. And, it went on. No, not even the teachers ever mentioned that colleges that would accept students who had 4 years of the same subjects. And if I knew that, I would pick up for those classes. And then of course this well I did finish high school and graduate. However, I didn't go to college because well after seeing what kind of students are allowed in the public schools, I didn't well for one thing I didn't want to share a dormer with somebody who was something I didn't approve of. And well I knew that no college would accept me if for the reason I don't want a roommate. I mean, and well, if I were to have a roommate who is something that I have no problem with, a different problem would be that I might drive my roommate crazy, or vice versa, and with the crazy and develop arguments and stuff. And I didn't want to go through that. I mean, I already had problems at home, and the problems of having at home, I didn't want that staying with a roommate. And yeah, I mean, I think this would be better that all colleges would have every student have a dorm to themselves, so they don't have to share anybody. Like so each student can do their own things without anybody getting in the way, and and so on. And this the also some years after I finished high school, I did hear reports of how the public school system is in start to need students. I mean, first it was at college level, then high school. middle school, and now elementary schools are doing it too. And there were some preschools that do the same thing. Now, I saw uh, the beginnings of the indoctrination. Like I guess it was like small steps, and I got a little bit worse. As I went on. Um, you know, from what I heard so far, it's beginning worse. Much worse than from when I was going there. And yeah, so because of that, I decided that if I ever have children, they will be either homeschooled or go to a private religious school like I did. I mean, I would like them to have the Word of God being an everyday part of their education instead of just 1 day a week. And so, if you are a parent and you're not able to homeschool your kids or have them go to a private school, whether it's religious or not religious, and public school is the only option you have for whatever reason, then you should at least check out what it is they're learning because there are a lot of reports of teachers teaching students things that they shouldn't be and even hiding it from the parents. And so you should encourage your kids to tell you what it is they're learning as well as anything else that's going on in the classroom or even at school. And you should tell your children that if the teacher is telling students not to tell the parents about what it is going on, then tell your children that they should tell you anyway. Because if a teacher is hiding something from the parents, then it cannot be good. And and if you find out something that going on in school that shouldn't, like things that shouldn't be taught or certain books that shouldn't be given to students. Well, there are a lot of organizations that are can help parents, with that. I would recommend Mass Resistance because they have managed to get things done. They help parents, with many victories over, what's going on at the public schools. So yes, and I hope the people who run YouTube won't remove this video or even my entire channel because of what I just mentioned, even though I haven't given specific details of what it is that public schools are teaching children these days. So yes, I think that's all I can say about my time in public school and what I think you as parents should do if your kids should uh, whatever's going on with them at school. So yes, and also please subscribe to my channel, and also please share this video on social media like Facebook, Twitter, or whatever. So that's it, and I'll see you next time. Bye.